Hi, I'm Nicole Collins, and I want to talk to you about that stack of mail. You probably know what stack of mail I'm referring to. Maybe it's in your entryway. Maybe you have actually a big pile of mail in your mailbox. Maybe you're slowly just stuffing it into a drawer and hoping that magically a gnome is going to come through and sort the mail for you and make it all go away. Totally get it. I have been there. It sucks. I'm here for you. And I want to give you some strategies how to deal with that pile of mail because unfortunately, some of the mail is actually important and you do need to deal with it in a timely fashion. And I know how hard this is because it's like your world feels like it's ended. If you just lost your husband or your partner, it feels like the world has completely stopped, but yet you start receiving mail with his name on it. And that is so difficult to see his name on a piece of mail, especially just crappy stuff like credit card offers, like meaningless stuff. It can be really overwhelming. And my heart goes out to you if you are experiencing that. So first step that I want to talk through is there is a way to deal with this psychologically that will set you up for more success here. And one is to take that pile and sort it into two piles. So we actually reduce the size of the pile that you have to deal with. Psychologically, it's easier for you to deal with a smaller pile than a large pile. And first, I do wanna say that if you just don't feel like you can do this on your own, that is absolutely okay. I would ask a really dear friend, a close friend to you that or your daughter or son to just sit with you. They don't have to do it, but sometimes just having them sit nearby you is really helpful psychologically. So it's almost like you're having a visit, but you're being productive at the same time, and it takes away some of the emotionality of the task if someone is there nearby. And they don't even have to talk. It's not like you have to talk through the sorting. They can just sit there silently if that's what you want and just have them be a presence for you. And that can sometimes be very helpful. What I want you to do is to start sorting and all of the junk catalogs, credit card offers, even bank statements, those can go in one pile. Also, sympathy cards, and this should have a little bit of a conversation about. So, sympathy cards are wonderful. It's an expression of love for you. People are thinking about you, and they can just be really hard to deal with. And so, it's really your choice whether you deal with them or not. You may just want to put those in a pile and come back to them whenever you feel up to it. And that may not be for a month or two or a year. It really is up to you. Do not feel obligated to open sympathy cards. And anybody who sent us a sympathy card listening to this, I'm sorry to say this, but it's not about you at that point. It is about the grieving person. And if they don't feel up to opening the card, then I want you to release any sort of attachment you have to getting a response back. Okay. So back to our widow. So if you have a pile of sympathy cards that you haven't been able to deal with, absolutely fine. And just go ahead and let them sit there. That could also be a thing that a friend does for you. I had somebody do that for me after Christian passed away. I had a friend who just actually opened up all of those sympathy cards and displayed them for me and then kept track of who sent what. And I revisited that list later. I didn't ever send thank you cards, and I apologize to anybody who was expecting a thank you card, but I wasn't up to that. So, it's really up to you how you wanna handle this. Potentially, you love correspondence and you like writing thank you cards. It's just a really nourishing thing for you. If that is the case, then go for it. Spend time doing that if that is really helpful for you. But if it's not, it's completely understandable that you just let those sympathy cards sit there in a pile or let a friend handle them for you. Okay, so then what goes into our main pile? So this is anything that looks legal, at all. So potentially from an attorney, from a court system, anything that looks like insurance or something from if he was employed, his employer, anything like that, that goes into pile one and we'll make a plan to open it. You don't have to open it yet and we'll just get it in that pile. That's what this video is about. We're getting things sorted. So it's a smaller pile for us to deal with. So we'll do that, get it in the pile. Then anything that is from your utility company, insurance for cars, anything like that that having it cut off or switch off would be disadvantageous to you. So you don't want to have the lights turned off. Just I and the thing about utilities, though, it's not like you miss one payment and they're gonna shut off the lights. They will send notices. Sometimes they'll call. Most of the time, they just send notices and you won't receive a call, but you will start receiving past due notices, and they will say on the envelope, "Past due." They will say, "Shut off, imminent," or something like that. They'll have some sort of language. So you will see them. They won't just get shut off. And credit cards, things like that, if you miss a credit card payment, it's not great, but it's also not the end of the world. And most of the time, banks, utilities, creditors, if you contact them, so say you're late with them, if you contact them by writing or on the phone and just let them know what is happening, typically they will forgive fees, but you don't want to let it go on for too long. I'm not saying let it go for 6 months and then call them and say, "My husband passed away 6 months ago." We're gonna make a plan, and I'll talk about that in my next video, to contact these different creditors. But just let's get them in the pile and know that this pile is the things that we handle. If you are ready to start opening these, I would suggest give yourself maybe the same time each day to do this, or maybe it's just one window a week. Get a nice beverage, whether it's coffee, a tea, a glass of wine, maybe put on some music, or just even just the TV in the background, something to make it just a softer, maybe more supportive situation for you to do this work. And then if you start to get overwhelmed, it's really okay to stop at 3 envelopes, opening 3 envelopes. And your first pass through the pile, if it's really just taking things out of the envelopes and getting the papers in a stack or sorted, maybe you sort the utility bill, whatever it is, that can just be enough. And then the next time, then maybe you say every morning at 10 a.m. I'm gonna do this, or at 5 p.m. I'm gonna crack open a bottle of wine and then sit down and do this. And then the next day, maybe it's you make the first call if you're late on something, or again, have that friend sit there with you. So that is a little preview of what we'll talk about in the next video. But until then, if you need somebody to sit with you on the phone or on a Zoom call while you do some of this work, please reach out to me. I am definitely here for you and want to support you. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.